Christy, thank you. If you've ever been to Greenville County Square, hopefully you've noticed that black granite wall. It bears the names of thousands of our veterans.
What you may not know is that wall, our county's most visible reminder of heroic sacrifice, only exists because one man made it happen. And now new development may put that historical marker at risk.
The wall itself is imposing, almost intimidating. A black granite barrier that frames Greenville County Square. There are more than 6,000 names carved into this rock. Every letter appears to be a permanent legacy, and all of it's written by George Blevins.
It's interesting stories here. I promise you, it's all different lives.
George has probably shaken the hands of most of the men honored here. His own sweat is the only reason they're remembered this way.
You're a veteran and you deserve to be on it. Yeah, your family can look at that for years.
Back in 1996, the 25-year Air Force veteran was in the middle of his 30-year career in Veterans Affairs, his office in a far corner of County Square, where George felt the men and women he served each day weren't getting their due.
I kept saying there's nothing in Greenville County, if you think about it, here at County Square is big, and nothing says, thank you, veterans.
So George picked up a pencil, sketched a few columns, and carved out space in his own garage. That's where he built this model, enough to shop around and try to raise money.
When you're in the middle of purchasing a monument, when you're just nobody, you know, how would you purchase a monument, you know?
They don't have any idea how hard it was.
No, sir. No one has any idea what could possibly happen.
The money, though, was a problem. The county wouldn't pay. The American Legion offered 10 grand, but that wasn't nearly enough. So George Blevins, the veteran who honors veterans, came up with the idea of letting veterans honor themselves.
Several books of this. Yeah, I've got them in the back, and I've got them everywhere.
George asked veterans and their families to help pay for their memorial. Each of these names is a family George contacted personally. The deal was $35 a name. The only requirement is that it be the name of a Greenville County vet. The response was enormous.
It's David Cummings, Furman Cummings, and John Frank Cummings. It's just one way to honor them and give them, and these guys loved it.
Emma Cummings and her brothers-in-law were among the first to sign up. John was in the Navy during World War II. David and Furman served in the Air Force.
The youngest of these guys, he was in service. He has 3 grandchildren in service right now, and they're in their early 20s. So it just...
It's the family business.
Yes, yes.
Over the years, the wall kept growing as dozens of other families honor their bond of service. It's been a focal point for 20 years' Memorial Day ceremonies. It got so popular, George hoped to gather enough veteran names to line both sides of the entrance to County Square. He wanted to call it Veterans Boulevard. That will never happen.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
This year, County Council voted to sell County Square to a private developer's billion-dollar project. The government buildings will come down, and all that granite has got to go.
If you destroy those names of those people, put that on honor those veterans, I think that would be a very big, bad situation for someone.
There's a plan for a new Veterans Park in the city of Greenville, and there's a chance the columns and wall dreamt up by George Blevins will relocate intact.
I made sure I got these 2 on there.
But it won't happen without the vision of someone like George, someone who can turn an intimidating job into an impressive honor.
I can't believe I did it. It's honestly something that it's there, and I know I did it. You just have to believe it. It's just something you do.
Well, he did do it, didn't he? You may have heard of the plans for what would be called Unity Park in downtown Greenville. The current plan would put that Veterans Memorial on property near the old Public Works facility. You saw it in the story behind that chain link fence. But they still need good ideas and millions of dollars to preserve the investment all those thousands of veterans have made on that wall. And of course, George Blevins will be among those, Amy, trying to make sure that happens.
Yeah, you know, have no doubt that George Blevins will be there and be right in the center of what happens. Can they, Gordon, get maybe these developers with the billion-dollar plans to help pay for the cost of moving the whole thing? Or what are the options?
So that's not part of the deal for the property at County Square, but there are people trying to raise the money to get that done, and there is a group working on it right now. The challenge really, I mean, if you've seen it, it's these big granite blocks that go down into the cement along the road, right? So getting that out of the ground intact without breaking anything and getting it across town is going to be a massive mechanical challenge that they still haven't really solved.
Well, stay tuned. We hope that it happens and everything's fine when they do it. Yeah. Thanks, Gordon. Well,